Stephanie, I want you to tell me what you want to change in this photo. What are some things you want to fix?
Can you ここに紙
Howdy guys, welcome back to BRG Photography. This is Ben and today we're doing another video where I'm going to retouch my friend and model's photo in front of her in Affinity Photo. So you should recognize her. This is Stephanie. You've probably seen her more than a few times in some of my other videos or my other photos. And today I'm going to retouch one of her photos that I took a while back in front of her and see what she thinks. So are you ready for that?
Yay!
Okay. All right, let's just go ahead and get started then. All right, guys, welcome back. So what we're gonna look at today is two photos. Well, we're gonna retouch one, but I'm gonna have Stephanie choose which one she likes. So we took these two photos a few years back. Which one would you like to retouch today?
This one.
That's a nice one. We're gonna be retouching this photo. Now we're gonna do something a little bit different where, Stephanie, I want you to tell me what you want to change in this photo. So I'm gonna just be the retoucher and I want you to look at this photo and what would you change? Because I think as the model, what you see and what I see are going to be different. Okay, so right off the bat, Steph, what do we see here that we might want to change? What are some things you want to fix?
Can you ここに谷も作る okay?
Here. We'll save that for the end, but maybe I can add okay.
I'm just kidding.
Maybe I can add a little bit. I'll make a little bit more. But okay, but what else? What are some things that immediately that you need to fix? Like, oh, we need to fix that.
My cheek, ここ
Yeah.
it's dirty.
Okay, it's kind of like you get some blemishes and stuff. And then the makeup artist did a really great job. Your makeup looks fantastic. We had our friend Kay do the makeup. So you want to fix some of this. Okay, so I'm going to make a little note here. We're going to do Stephanie's notes. I'm going to call this Steph, if I can spell your name right. Okay, I'm going to do Steph notes. We're going to take a paintbrush, just do a red color, and then I'm going to make notes. Okay, so we're going to, so first the cheek area. Okay, so what else do we think we want to fix?
ここ
You have this redness on the knee. Okay, you can fix that. What else do you see that you think needs to be corrected?
no. ちょっと首のシワ
Here.
ちょっとここ綺麗スムースにしたい
You talking about like these lines here?
ちょっと a little bit smooth
Okay. Well, anything else?
ここ血管
These veins? You want them a little lighter? Okay. Is that it?
I think
Okay.
that's it.
All right. Well, we'll do that. We'll do that first, and then I'll show you all the other things that you missed
okay.
that I would definitely fix. Okay, so these are your notes. So let's go ahead and do Stephanie's notes first. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and turn this off. So let's go ahead and just start with the knee. That's gonna be pretty easy, I think. All right, so probably the easiest way to do this is I think I'm going to use a clone stamp tool set to kind of a lowish flow. And I'm gonna just sample right here. Because the colors are close enough, I think it'd be pretty easy to just kind of paint this out. I'm gonna just kind of clone stamp from different areas. That looks a little better, don't you think? And then what I can do is if I want to, it's still a little bit red. So I'm gonna bring up an HSL adjustment layer, highlighting the red. I'm gonna drop the reds down a bit. I'm gonna invert that layer. And then I'm going to paint with a white paintbrush. And this is gonna be really hard to see on YouTube. I'm just gonna take out some of that red color. So I don't know if it's easy, if you can see, yeah, you can see a little bit, like that's before and that's after. And so I just took out some of that red color and let's bring a little bit of it back. Okay, so far we have just fixed the knee. Pretty easy fix. I'll also come and we'll touch it up a bit later too. All right, so the veins, I'm gonna fix, we're gonna actually just do that right. Let's go ahead and fix that with dodge and burn. So in this video, I'm gonna be working a little bit out of order because we're doing it on Stephanie's request, but normally I would do all of my cleanup and then dodge and burn and then contouring, but we're gonna kind of go out of order for this. All right, so we're gonna go to dodge and burn and we're gonna look at it in black and white just because it's easier for me to see the values. And all I'm gonna do here is we're just gonna, using the dodge tool. Now, it's gonna be difficult for you to see what I'm doing, Stephanie, because I'm working really gradual. But after I turn it off and on, so for example, you can see, right? Subtle.
Yeah.
It's subtle, but I'm gonna do a little more here. And let's see, I'm gonna work pretty slow. Sometimes when I'm doing my YouTube videos, I tend to like rush through things and I make mistakes. So if this is taking a bit too long, I'll just like speed it up in the edit. Okay, all right, so let's see if we just kind of turn that off and on. So you can see it's a small difference, but yeah, it helps a little bit, right? All right, cool. And then what else did you say? Oh, okay, now the face. So this is gonna be pretty easy, I think. So we're gonna do this on a pixel layer. And I'm gonna go ahead and use the in-painting brush tool just to kind of really quickly clean up just some of these little spots here. We're just gonna, this is gonna be pretty fast just to kind of clean it out. Sometimes, like I said, I guess I have you here in person. So these are, I think this is a freckle. This is a freckle.
フレコって何?
そばかす.
Oh, no, that's not freckle. That's shimi.
This?
Yeah, shimi. Definitely shimi.
I'm talking about this one right here.
Yeah, this one is this one.
This.
Yeah.
So you don't want it?
It's gay. It's gay. It's got, なんていう? 濃くなった.
It's gotten darker.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you want it? Do you want to keep it? See,
No.
We'll say this is where kind of retouching, you do have to make decisions, because for me, like, you always have this. This is here for you. So I want to get rid of things that are not permanent. So if I get rid of it, for example, which I can get rid of easily, which, yeah, it looks fine, but I feel like it's a little bit false because when I meet you, you do have it. So things like, for example, when we got rid of this stuff earlier, like these kind of spots, you don't really have these. This is maybe some acne, or your skin was a bad skin day. So I don't mind to erase that. But things that I know you have permanently, I'll try to keep them, but I'll get rid of the other little small spots here. Like, for example, I wouldn't get rid of this because that's a permanent thing. Same here, I wouldn't get rid of this one. But here, like, what? That line. Oh, this thing. Here, maybe this, yeah, get rid of that. And maybe this one on your chin, it's like a little scar, but it's kind of distracting, so we'll get rid of that. And maybe just here on the nose, all right, so we're gonna keep that one. We'll fix it a little bit later. Okie dokie. All right, so that's good here. Okay, what else did we have on your notes? Oh, the neckline. We're gonna do the same thing here. I'm just gonna drop my opacity down to 50% and just kind of paint over the neckline so it's not so harsh. I can also I'm gonna go into dodge and burn with a white paintbrush, and I'm gonna actually make this a little bit lighter here. Is that better?
Better.
All right.
Good.
All right, so for you, would you consider this done? You're like, okay, I'm happy with this. Are you happy with this? So you're done with it. For you,
For
you'd be
me,
like, yeah.
for me, that's enough.
Okay, cool. All right, so perfect. That's great, because this is very different than how I would work, and there's a lot of things that I see that maybe Stephanie didn't recognize. And I'm gonna go ahead and open up my retouch sheet again, because I'm gonna kind of start from this beginning and show her how I would do it. Now, actually, before I get started, There's one more thing that I have talked about before is like this was shot on a digital SLR, and this is going to be posted, or it actually is posted to Instagram. And this size is actually too big for Instagram. Instagram size looks like this. So that means that if I want this to fit on Instagram, I have to cut off somewhere, but I don't want to cut off anywhere. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to expand the background a bit. Are we boring you, Stephanie?
No. Sorry.
Okay, so I'm gonna expand the background a little bit, say something like that. Now that looks better, that's a better size for Instagram. So what I gotta do first is I gotta fill in these edges. So I'm gonna do that pretty easily. I'm gonna go ahead and grab this marquee tool. I'm gonna grab this side, duplicate it, and then just stretch it out. And then I need to do the same thing here, but the issue is we have this robe thing. So going back to my marquee tool, just grab a little bit here. Okay, duplicate it, stretch it out. Now that got a bit too big, but let's see if we can fix that. All right, and I'm gonna go ahead and just actually erase. I'm just gonna actually do a paintbrush. That'd be the fastest, I think. And do something like that's good enough. I mean, I could spend time to make the edge look really sharp, and you can see here, this got stretched out a bit. So I'm actually erase where it got stretched. So, all right, that's good enough. Like that's fine. Like, you know, and then I'm gonna go ahead and merge these down. So yeah, we just added that because now this will fit on an Instagram thing. Okay, so now let's go back to our edits really quick. So clean up. So obviously we have this piece of cotton here, but we don't need that. Even though this is a mole here, I'm just gonna go ahead and get rid of it because it's kind of distracting. This time I'm gonna try a really fast way to get rid of these veins, just doing it with the in-painting brush tool. I think this will be a little bit faster than doing it with dodge and burn, because it will also clean up some of that color. Now also we can see here, I can see you had socks on. I'm gonna get rid of that sock line because it's gonna make the leg look a little bit nicer. We have it here as well. And then we have this, we're gonna do the same as before. I'm just going to, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna leave that for dodge and burn. We'll do that at a later step. Not a big issue. Actually, you know, you're never gonna see this, but sometimes I would get rid of all these little furry things that are on the shirt because, you know, maybe this photo might be printed out big one day, or you might want to do a close-up. So just getting rid of some of that little furry stuff. I don't know, I like to have it looking a bit cleaner. All right, so this is fine, but I will just get rid of this one line right here just to make it look, I don't know, a little cleaner, your underarm. All right, okay, so I don't know what that little spot is. I'll get rid of that. I'll get rid of this little spot here. And then the face, we're gonna do the same thing. I'm just gonna get rid of these spots really quickly. I'm gonna keep that thing that you don't like, but I think it looks cute. I mean, I want the skin to look natural. I don't want it to look like a filter or too fake. So sometimes I purposely keep the kind of imperfections. You know, when you have little blemishes or little scars, I think it's okay to keep a few of them. We have these little white spots from, I guess, the makeup. Okay, I'm gonna just get rid of these small little hairs from the your eyebrow. Okay, here, hair here, forehead. Okay. All right, and another thing too, I really want to clean up the edge of this hair. Like, I know, what do you think? Do you like this? Because so, for example, what I normally would do is do something like this. And I'm just gonna like clean up the edge here, right? To kind of make it look a little less messy. But if you're going for that kind of messy look, then maybe it's okay to keep it. What do you think?
こっちの方がいい。
Yeah, it's better to have it a little bit cleaner. Like, you want to have it looking natural, right? And then I'll show you something that I'm gonna do to make it look a bit more natural. Now, of course, at this distance, this looks fine. Like, no one's gonna think otherwise. But like I said, if we go to full size, which this is 100%, You can kind of see the hair gets a bit cut off there. So a lot of times what I'll do is I will just paint in some of my own hairs. So I'm gonna grab this little hairbrush. We have this hairbrush. I'm gonna grab one of these brown colors and I'm just gonna actually kind of paint in a few of my own hairs to kind of make it so it doesn't look like I just erased, you know, these hairs here. I can always come back here, change to a different color, and kind of paint in my own edge of the hair. And maybe if I want, I can even do a little thing like that if I want to kind of keep it looking natural. And here especially, alrighty. So yeah, for example, here I can kind of create my own little hairs. And I just painted in like that. That's I just painted in these little hairs. But I think it just kind of helps define the edge a little better. And then we'll do some more hair stuff later, but for now that looks good. Okie dokie, so as far as this looks, okay, maybe, yeah, I would probably, continuing on, actually, let's label this so I don't remember, or I don't forget. So I'm gonna continue on doing a last minute cleanup really quick before we go to dodge and burn. Let's just get rid of this little stuff here. You're not embarrassed having your face so big on the screen? No, okay. Okay, I think that looks pretty good.
谷間は
Oh, all right, hold on a second. We're gonna do that. I can do a little bit. I'll show you something to make it look natural. Let's go on to my dodge and burn step, which is, this is where I think most of the work is done with dodge and burn. So I'm gonna turn on my helper. That way I'm looking at the image only in black and white, because when I'm looking at black and white, color doesn't distract me. I don't get distracted by the color. I'm only seeing dark and light. And that's gonna make it easier for me to make some of my adjustments here. So grabbing a white paintbrush with a 2% flow, let's go over here. And because this is quite dark, I'm going to just lighten it up very slowly. And I think this will give a very natural look. If the color is still too red, I can fix it with an saturation layer later. But I think that looks better. Let's turn the black and white off. Yeah, that looks okay. That looks natural. Dodge and burn is also where I try to clean up a lot of the skin. Actually, what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna give us some more contrast just to make it a bit easier for me to see some of the kind of darker values. What I wanna try to do is smooth out these variations in darkness and lightness. Hold on for like 2 or 3 minutes while I finish this.
頑張れ
All right, so I just finished the dodge and burning on this whole thing. I'll show you a little bit. So this is before and after. And so what, I'm gonna turn this off. So all I really did, as you can see, is like I smooth out all of the kind of color differences in your skin, right? Even things like the arm where, you know, it just makes the skin look a little more even. So you can see here. And this is a lot of little work, so I'll show you what it looks like. So all these little white marks are the brushes that I did. That's for making something lighter. So this is what I made lighter. And these parts are what I made darker. So for example, you can see here, like on the leg, like these are all those little kind of spots to kind of make the skin look a little bit more smooth. And you can see here in the face, like, you know, you have kind of weird shadows or something, but here the skin looks a little more even, a little more smooth. So that's my dodge and burn step. Now the next step we're gonna do is kind of fun. This is contouring. So you know, like contouring, right? Girls do makeup with their contouring. So we're gonna do the same thing with contouring. With contouring, I'm gonna take a Same thing. So what I like to do is these parts that are light, I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of make it a little bit lighter here. We're gonna go a little bit lighter here. Add some highlight here, maybe add some contouring here. Go a little bit darker on the edges around here, make that a little bit darker. And then you'll see how that just adds a little bit of contrast in your, makes it more 3D looking. So we're gonna do the same thing with your arm here. So we're just gonna add a little bit of highlight, and on this side, a little bit of shadow. And then, so you wanted the cleavage here. So we can do that a little bit by, if I kind of make this area a bit brighter here, and then kind of make this part a little bit darker, adding some shadow. And if I do more shadow here, then you can see, so, right, it adds, it's more like 3D, right? And so we can do the same thing with the face. Now with the face, what I like to do, like most people, is I'll make the highlight on the nose, a little bit on this upper forehead, maybe up here above the eyes. I will do the eyes, make them a little bit brighter. And then definitely here on the cheek, chin, and then I'm gonna make it darker on the cheekbone, and then almost on the side of the face, because I think a lot of people, women especially, like to have kind of a small looking face. So if I make the edge of the face kind of darker, it's gonna make your whole face look a little bit smaller. I like to make it darker around the eyes to give that kind of smoky look. And then maybe a little bit of shadow here in the nose. And you'll see how it kind of really makes everything kind of pop out a little more. And you can see here's my contouring. So that's the contouring. And then this is making it darker. And so if I feel like maybe the highlight is a little bit too strong here, I'm gonna switch to a black brush. Just kind of back it off a little bit, like so. But I want to maybe do a little more here on the upper forehead, around the face. And that's gonna kind of make the face look a little more 3D, a little sharper. And that gives everything a really nice kind of glossy look, right? So let's go ahead and show what we've got so far. So this is the before and this is the after. So it's not a huge difference because already you look great, the makeup looks great, but you can see like just doing a little bit of that makes it more pop. It's more like pop, right? And then one last thing I can do with the hair, for example, is I'm gonna liquefy. Because if I do this, I can just give you a little more volume, right? A little more volume in the hair, right? I think girls like to have more volume, right? Kind of bigger volume hair. So something like that, right?
面白い。Wow.
I don't know how much looks good. Maybe like around here. Something like that. Look okay? Okay. And then also, I know you're thin, and maybe because of your posing, your arm is against your body, and so it makes your arm look bigger. So I'm actually just gonna, just a little bit to make it look a little more natural. Then we hit apply, and you'll see,
すごい。
right? Just like that. And so we do everything. Turn these off. So this was the before, and that's the after. That's nice.
Nice.
Right? Yeah.
Cool.
And yeah, just like that, we've edited this photo. And I think we give you a little bit of cleavage there, right? A little bit. So I think that looks pretty good. Okay, so I think that we're gonna be done for this photo for now. Stephanie, what do you think about this?
Perfect.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's good.
It definitely takes a lot of time, and I could have done things faster. I think frequency separation may have been just as well instead of dodging and burning in this kind of image, but I think for something like this, this probably would take me about 30 to 40 minutes if I was doing it with myself and not talking the whole time. But I think it came out looking really good. This is a great shot. You look fantastic in it, and I appreciate you very much for coming on my channel once again to help me do photo stuff. So you're welcome back anytime. You guys can follow Stephanie. I will leave her links on TikTok and Instagram and all that stuff. And I guess until next time, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching till the end if you did, and I will see you in the next one. All right, guys, peace.